Hey y'all, it is Jenna, and today we're going to talk about Miss Peach Mcintyre. Okay, I saw another content creator, Miss Harmony, talk about this, so I said, you know what, let me go ahead and join the bandwagon on talking about her and what's going on in her life. But before we get into it, you know what to do. Thumbs up this video, subscribe if you have not already, cut your notifications on, and leave us a comment, you guys. All right, so today I'm going to be crocheting and drinking my water. Yes, drinking your water is very important, you guys. If you don't drink enough water, your body is just not gonna work, okay, correctly. All right, so one thing about Miss Peach, and I am a content provider, I'm always gonna keep it spiritual. I'm going to keep it enlightening and things like that. First and foremost, when I first saw, excuse me, you guys, when I first saw the fact that Miss Peach, was crying and everything, at first I thought it was just like a prank or something. I didn't know that she was serious. But her voice cracking, and let me just, for you who do not know, Miss Peach is a content creator. She is on all major platforms. She basically helps other people build their communities and to be successful. And I've taken a few of her courses. They're very affordable. And I've taken a few of her, offer courses when they're on sale, and she always runs some great sales. Okay. So if you're looking to build your, your page or build your social media, I would suggest that you take one of Peach's courses or even get a one-on-one. I've never gotten a one-on-one from her, but I'm sure it's the bomb, if you will. Okay, because she's very knowledgeable, very successful. You can look at her social media on different platforms and see that her views are viewing and things like that. So she is a mom, a married woman, mom of 7 kids, and she's pregnant with twins, and it looks like she's due any day now, even though she's not sharing her due date. But homegirl, she is always working, and she doesn't let that pregnancy or the fact that she has a lot of children to stop her grind. But just recently, she has a husband. His name is Wood. And you guys, this story is completely all on her social media, y'all. So you go over there and watch it. But yeah, she's married and they have 7 children, and he is mostly like, I'm gonna say like Mr. Mom. I don't mean any harm, but he's the one who stays home with the children. I think she has like 6 boys and a girl. I don't know what she's having as far as her twins are concerned, but he stays home. But one day she was in her car or whatever, or checking his truck or something, because she's the breadwinner. And she checked and she saw that he had some stuff up in there, some stuff for, covering himself during intimacy with someone else. It was like a scene out of Baby Boy a little bit. Remember when she was like, oh, she found, Yvette found, played by Taraji, found Jody, played by Tyrese, found like a little box in the back of his car or whatever, and she was like, okay, it's 3 supposed to be in here and it's only 2, and this, that, and the other. It was kind of like that. She found an open whatever in the back of the truck, and she was just floored. She was hurt, as any woman would be. She was like, basically, she keeps her kids home, because because he doesn't want the kids in daycare because it's expensive. Which is, how does that work out? First and foremost, I'm going to say this, because she could be angry at what I say or whatever, but I'm coming from the most, loving situation as I can. But being the breadwinner as a woman, I feel like, it should be a little more even. I think that's a little too much stress on her. It should not be where she's the only one making the money. But anyway, he's saying, "Oh no, don't put the kids into daycare." Which, I mean, I'm like, well, why does he even have a say at this point? Because she's making the money. But anyway, she said she's going to put the children into daycare. As I was reading the comments and everything, in different threads, and it was like, well, why would you put the children in daycare? You know, that's just going to give him more, basically more availability to cheat and things like that. And she already knows that he cheats. I mean, she's every few months, I'm noticing that, you know, she'll, some random girl will come on her thread or her stream and say, "Oh, your husband is cheating." And she was like, "I don't care." First and foremost, Miss Peach, you should care if your husband is cheating on you. And that's not just for Miss Peach, that's for anybody. I don't really. Oh, that's the most highest disrespect. First of all, it's going to put him at risk. It's going to put you at risk. Obviously, you two are still doing the do because you have twins. Why would you say publicly that you don't care if he cheats? And then she said, well, the reason why, you know, the women are basically having relations with her husband is because they want what you have. No, they don't. They don't want what you have. That's just the spirit of a woman just being, you know, some women just love a married man. Why? Because she got her own life going on. It has nothing to do with you. They don't want your life. They don't want your life. I mean, really, why would you want a man who's not contributing, who's not helping you out? No, he's only good for what his nickname is. It is what it is, right? That's not his real name, right? His mama ain't call him that, right? No, that's all he's good for. They don't care, and they send him right back to you, Mama Hen, to go and take care of him. And then when he's bored or he wants to do some other stuff, he calls them to gratify whatever the heck going on with him, if you will. So no, don't sit there and rationalize it. It is really bad. You don't deserve it. No woman deserves a man who's going to, I mean, especially, you know, you out here grinding, getting the money, working your butt off when you should be propping your feet up, getting ready for those babies. You get what I'm saying? You feel like you have to go out there and do double, triple the work because your husband's at home enjoying the festivities. Let's just keep it real. Enjoying the festivities of not having to do nothing, and all he has to do is sit there and text other women and meet up with them. That makes, I'm drinking some green tea, y'all. No sugar. Just some green tea for the great properties of, what is it? It's anti-inflammatory. You guys look it up. It's really good. I've been drinking green tea for years. I got off of it, you know, and I'm going back on it. But you know, I'm not gonna say this is a skit because she's, you know, I heard the pain in her voice, and things like that. But she's accepting it because the thing about it is, where's she going, right? That's what a lot of women, we feel like, who else is going to want a woman with 7 kids, well, actually 9. 9 kids, you know what, 9 children, you know, she doesn't want to break her family up. And she's like, hey, you know, I'll just, you know, deal with it long as you don't bring me nothing home. I hope you're protecting yourself. I don't know how you're protecting yourself. I don't know how you would protect yourself from, like, if Wood picks something up, what's going to protect you from picking up something too? You get what I'm saying? They put all of their business on camera. I don't really agree with that. And when I say all their business, I had to kind of get away from it because I'm like, I don't want to see what y'all do in y'all personal time. And I know the people who follow her, y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of them videos, I can't believe she was able to put those videos up. Very, very disappointing. And you have children, and you don't just have young children, you have a teenager, and he can see that stuff and things like that. That is just not healthy. And now you're putting this out here, and in a week or so, let's just keep it real, y'all gonna be back together. You're gonna be fine. The tears are gonna be dried up, and you're gonna just basically be like, whatever. And everybody will be like, but Wood is cheating on you. I don't care. I think that part, I think that's an act. No woman is going to sit there and say you don't care. They don't care. If you're crying, if you're saying I don't know what to do, if you're saying your old self would have went off, I hope you're reading the word. That's one thing I don't think Miss Peach is saved. I don't think she lives for Christ, because some of the things that she does, all that stuff that she does on camera, all of that is a representation of being insecure. You get what I'm saying? Children does not make you mature. Children sometimes can make you atrophy mentally, because you have to put everything into the children and you feel like you don't have to put anything into you. No. When a plane says they're about to go down, they say the first thing, or something's going to happen, and they say, who do you put the mask on? I'm not going to even say it. Y'all say it in the comments. Who do you put the mask on first? Yourself or your child? Which one? And yeah, I'm not going to even answer it, because those who know. But yes, you have to give to yourself to be able to give to your children. And the thing about it is, I see her. She's drained, always working. Sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh. Girl, I respect the hustle, but don't run yourself where you're not able to function and be there for all those babies. Okay, so next we're going to talk about why would somebody, I'm going to put this into my assistant. I'll be right back. Okay, so remember, guys, I always keep things in the spiritual realm. So we're going to talk about why would somebody say that they would accept their husband to cheat, and we're going to basically talk about the spiritual aspect of that. Okay, what does God say about cheating and things of that nature? Okay, first of all, before I even look at this, I know that cheating is a sin. Okay, you're breaking the covenant. Now, I don't think, from what she does and how she acts, I don't think they go to church. I don't think they're saved. I don't think they pray together. I think basically what they do is what you see. They have a lot of babies. They make a lot of content. They put their business out there on Front Street to make $1. That is obvious. That is obvious. They're not giving time to God. God created marriage. Now, things happen in marriage, but it's some things that should never happen in a marriage. You know, when you are married, you are held to a higher standard. I don't know if you guys know that, but you should not be making the same mistakes as those who are single. Okay? All right. So there are many reasons why a woman might accept her husband cheating on her. These can include emotional, psychological, social, and financial factors. Okay. All right, guys. By the way, I am making headscarves. You guys see me wear these headscarves in a lot of my videos. Yes, I do offer them. So if you're interested in getting a headscarf made by your girl Jenna, and it will be literally you supporting this channel, you guys. Okay, so when you buy that, just know that you are supporting the channel. You're supporting the cause of me being a Proverbs 31 woman who is known to what? Make things with her hands. Guys, yes, so all the information will be in the description of this video if you would like to purchase a head wrap. Okay, and they're pretty big. You can wear them, you know, to the back. You can wear them to the front. Very stylish. You can get them in multiple colors or one color. If you're just starting out, I would get a single color, yellow, purple. I basically do royalty colors. Very something simple, because a lot of people who watch me, you know, we're just simple ladies. We don't want anything too much, okay? So just know that when you purchase this, you do support the channel, okay? You support me as a crocheter, as a Proverbs 31 woman, and hopefully I am inspiring you to become a Proverbs 31 woman. Or if this is a male watching, hopefully you will, and you're single, you will find a Proverbs 31 woman, or if you have a wife, you can basically tell her to read Proverbs 31 and you do the same, okay? All right, so some women might stay in the relationship due to fear of being alone. Of course, like, the thing about it is, when we're having these babies, you know, there's a song from Candy Staten, and I always talk about it when I'm talking about the Britney story. And I say, you know, and it's a line in song that says you will have the babies, but you won't have a man. You won't have your man. Your man's out there basically loving on whomever he can. You sitting there being faithful. You're sitting there being true to him, and you're being a wife, but he's not even married to you, or in this case, he can be married to you, but he's still playing around. And so what woman with 9 children is just going to be like, you know what? I don't need my husband. I'm good. Of course, she's going to stay there, because even though he may not be the breadwinner, he is still a support system, because he helps her to not have to put her children into childcare, which is a lot of money. I'm hearing some people pay a lot of money for childcare for just one child. So I can just assume or just imagine how much it would be for 9 children. And that's not what we're talking about. Like, that's not what we're thinking about when we're, being with our husbands and being with our wives. We're not thinking about the aftermath. We're not thinking about that. And all these children, which are beautiful and they are a blessing, they are work. Okay, and it takes 2 parents. Okay, Wood can't, he's almost like a single father, because she's never around her children the way she should be, but she has to, work. But some of the working that she does is mental, meaning she doesn't have to do all that work. But, when you start to have, get used to a certain standard, and you get used to making a certain amount of money and things like that, you want to do what you need to do. And so the love of money is what is the root to evil, not money itself. And so you have to, know the difference between, money is a tool to do what we need to do, as far as pay our bills, as far as eat, as far as, just living everyday life. But to the point where it's your God, where basically it is causing mischief in your household and mischief in your children and things like that, you gotta settle yourself down. Peach, you're a wife. Not giving your husband the okay. But I've heard this excuse that, oh, you're never home. You don't pay me any mind. You talk down to me. Because even if a man who is the breadwinner talks down to his wife, she's not going to like that. And especially a man who is supposed to be the provider, who is supposed to be the breadwinner, who is supposed to be the head of the household, you basically saying that he's nothing because he doesn't, pay the bills and he's not able to make money. What do you think is going to happen? He is going to basically, especially if he already has that cheating bug, which is something you guys probably had from the beginning, right? You guys both cheated. You both have basically tried to solve your problems within your relationship through cheating and extracurricular activities. And once that apple has been bitten, it can't be unbitten. That forbidden fruit. You get what I'm saying? So of course he's going to be like, oh, she's never home. So he's going to rationalize in his head that my wife is not wifing. Oh yeah, she's, she's there for this and that and the other, but it's probably more than just a physical thing that he needs from you. Okay, and if that's all you're giving, then obviously that little thing that you found in his car or your car, or whomever car it was, shows that he can get that anywhere. Some women might stay in a relationship due to fear of being alone, financial dependency, concern for their children, or societal pressure. Others might believe in forgiveness and hope for change. I don't think she's forgiving him when she stays. I think she's just lazy when it comes to her marriage. We are not going to be diligent in everything we do without God. Even then, we're going to always fall short. Okay, but if you're an awesome person at work and you're, very, very successful and you're making X, Y, and Z money, something is going to lack at home. We're not omnipresent. We can't be in 2 places at one time. So I cannot be at work. I cannot be making this video and showing my husband attention. I just can't be in 2 places at one time. I'm going to have to basically set time, take time to be a wife, to give my husband the attention that he needs, and him too. And then I go and work, and you try your best and let God do the rest. That's just my saying that I say all the time, and it gets me through the tough times, is I try my best and God will do the rest. But if you're not even trying, you're not even listening, you're not even understanding that this man is, neglected, not giving him an excuse, guys, because I don't want you guys coming for me. But obviously there is something missing And we as the watchers, we see Miss Peach always working. So if you're always working, honey, one thing you're not doing is being a mother, and you're not being a wife. While you're working, your husband is off talking to someone who is giving him that companionship that he is looking for. Whether it be physical, mental, spiritual. Obviously, it's not financial. You can't keep him there just for giving him big cars and all of that. That's not all he needs. That's not all anyone needs. You can't keep somebody happy with money. Money can't buy you love, like the song from Guy back in the day. Money can't buy love. Money can't buy respect. Money can't buy fidelity, faithfulness. Others might believe in forgiveness, or they might have low self-esteem and feel that they don't deserve better. Each situation is unique and complex. I have noticed that sometimes Miss Peach, hair looking fierce, and sometimes when she doesn't feel the part, she walks around with her hair not done. And me being a woman who has, I'm growing my locks, and, I'm making scarves and things like that, I was taught by my parents to look a certain way. Okay, he may not say to her, "Oh, you look unkept today." He may not say that, but he'll say that through his actions. He will say that through what he says out of his mouth. Sometimes you have to just listen and read between the lines. But I'm gonna tell you, I know I myself, I would not want to look at someone who is unkept every day. I'm sorry. I don't care if we work all the time. I don't care if we make, content. I want my partner, my husband, to look presentable. Okay, I'm not saying I want him to be vain, but I don't want to be around someone who doesn't look like he washed, or doesn't look like they have any kind of respect for themselves. When you look good, you feel good. And so even if it's for camera or views, honey, please get yourself together. You know what I mean? Because these women out here that she's talking about, honey, they just want her, they're like, oh, well, they looking at you. They're like, okay, I don't really have to do much. All I got to do is put a wig on, put a nice little fitted dress on, and not be so obnoxious, because trust and believe, anybody he is cheating on with, on his wife with, is nothing like Peach. They usually do not cheat on you with someone like you, because they're going to basically convince themselves that they're looking for someone else. They're looking for something different. They're looking for something that you are not giving. Like when you have a job that's not paying you the way you want, then you're looking for something that is going to be able to supplement whatever you are lacking on your job. If you got everything on one job, then you wouldn't need a second job, right? If your one job did everything for you, paid your salary, gave you the insurance, do all that, you're not going to be seeking for anything else. So I'm saying that basically when a person is stepping outside of the relationship, they're looking for something to supplement what they don't have. I.e., I'm telling you guys this, when someone says, I'm going to leave my spouse for you, they're lying. Because they're not going to leave that, because their spouse is serving something. If they weren't, then they would just go ahead and leave. If it was nothing there, they would go ahead and leave. So the fact that they are still there is saying that there's something there, whether it be financial, whether it be physical, whatever. It's still something there, but they with you because they're supplementing what their spouse is not. And 9 times out of 10, what people try to supplement with other people that their spouse is not, is time. When you're always working, when you're always out and about, and you guys are never in each other's presence, it does give place to the devil. Okay? Right. So we're going to keep going. Regarding what God says about cheating, okay? The Bible says several verses, that address adultery and infidelity. Okay, so that's what it's called. It is called adultery. So stop calling it cheating, God's people. It is adultery. You are committing adultery when you go out and sleep with someone else. In general, it's adultery. But when you are married, of course, it is adultery. It's definitely adultery. Okay, when you are messing with someone married, you are committing adultery, whether you're married or not. So those people saying, well, they're married, I'm not, that's their responsibility. No, you are feeding the line of adultery. Exodus 20:14 says this: you shall not commit adultery. Okay, that's a part of the what? The 10 Commandments. So that is anything that's deliberately spelled out in the 10 Commandments. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, you're not supposed to do. Let's go over the 10 Commandments. Y'all ain't think y'all was gonna come on here. Oh yeah, basically God will use anything to get his word through. This thing with Miss Peach, oh yeah, that is adultery. And if she stays with her husband and says, I don't care, you are feeding the demon, the spirit of adultery. If you are Ahab, we can be Ahab. Ahab is the spirit of toleration. Ahab was Jezebel's mother. I'm sorry. Mother. Husband. You get what I'm saying? Yes, Ahab was Jezebel's husband. Can you tell that I know somebody very close who is a Jezebel? Hello? Anyway. All right. So here are the 10 Commandments, okay? And this is Exodus 21 through 17, okay? You shall have no other gods before me. Okay? Before. You know what? Look. That before is actually the operative word, because he's saying that you shouldn't have any gods before me. Now, it's not saying that you can't, have other things that you have time for, like your job to make a living, like your spouse, like me making videos. He didn't say you can't do other things. He didn't say, hey, you need to worship me all day, every day, like completely and not have anything else, because in everything we do, we're still worshiping God. We're still honoring him when we're doing his work. But just understand, you should not have any gods before him. God is first in all we do. Everything else is secondary. Okay, so the thing about it is your spouse can't be your God, your job, anything you do more than spending time with God and giving him what he needs and his due has become your God. Okay, so check yourself before you wreck yourself, you guys. What is in your life right now that is more important or has basically become more important than your relationship with God? Because when you have a relationship with God, these things that we're talking during this video, as far as with Peach, it would not happen. The fact that she'll accept a man basically going out on her, who is her husband. I don't know if that's her legal husband or her self-proclaimed husband, because there's rumors saying they're not really married. I'm not here to say what they are or whatever. I don't know, because that's all public knowledge. You feel what I'm saying? That could be easily proven or disproven if you're married, because marriage is a public entity. But assuming that is her marriage, I'm saying her husband, even if it's her, what is it, common law. Okay, y'all got 7 kids together, about to be 9. You get what I'm saying? And you're sitting there and you're saying, oh, I don't care if he cheats. Is saying, hey, I really don't care about my wellness, my well-being. Because that man is opening you up, not just that person is opening you up, not just physically, but spiritually and mentally to different demonic energies. We all say no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Well, when you purposely know that your husband is cheating and you're like, I don't care and I'm going to accept it and I'm going to keep it that way, then you're saying that you basically letting all the weapons that have formed to prosper, because you allowing that, all because you feel like he's more important than yourself. And we're supposed to understand that our body is a temple and is loaned from God, and we're supposed to respect that. That covenant's been broken, and I don't care if it's been broken from both of y'all. It's no longer a marriage in God's eyes in the first place. Once y'all break the covenant and y'all didn't have repentance, and you didn't ask God to take that away from y'all and forgive you and wash in the blood, you guys aren't married. You shall not make yourself a carved image, any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that it is in the water under the I'm gonna have this write this in plain English, y'all. So let's see. Don't worship any other gods besides me. Don't make or worship idols. There you go. So no idols. Nothing should be idols. You should not idolize your mate. You shouldn't idolize your job. You shouldn't idolize yourself. You shouldn't idolize a situation. Sometimes we'll allow our situation to take over our better judgment and do things that we have no business doing. You know how people say, well, I did this to feed my children and it wasn't right in what they were doing, and you rationalized and said it was okay. No. Don't misuse God's name. I've heard her several times misuse God's name. That's why I say in Jesus' name, God forgive her, for she knows not what she does. Keep the Sabbath day holy. Rest your body. She does not rest. I can tell that, she needs to rest. If you rest, you'll have time to recoup. You'll have time to register things better and deal with life. You'll be home with your family. You'll tell your whole family to rest, okay? Have respect for other people's lives is one. Okay? Don't commit adultery. And that is the 7th commandment. Don't commit adultery. So this is an adulterous relationship. At this point, of course, we don't have respect for that. This is not a godly relationship. And the wages of sin is, what else? You know what that is. And so sin will basically eat up a marriage. Do not steal. It's the 8th one. The 9th one is don't lie about others. Do not tell untruths about other people. And 10, do not be jealous of what others have. So anybody who may be envious of what Miss Peach has, just understand she's human just like anyone else, and she's going through stuff. And even if this is real or whatever, and it should be real, I would hope that you would not put spells on yourself and put words out there that's not true and cause issues to happen in your life just for a check. Okay, that's not cool, and do not follow what she does. And I'm talking to myself because I've been tempted. I've been tempted. I just want more views, and I'm not gonna say certain things just to get $1 for what? You speaking that over yourself. You get what I'm saying? You joke around too much that man is cheating, and then eventually it'll happen. And it's called crying wolf. You've cried wolf so many times, people don't know if you're real or you're not. So yeah, let's hope and pray that she's not to that point where because from what I understand, she's successful. She doesn't have to make up bogus stories for $1. She could just go in there and stare at the camera and she'll get 20,000 views. I mean, it is what it is. But 10 says don't be jealous. So Jenna, don't be envious of anyone. Be thankful for what you have. God will increase when it's time. Okay, that's what I'm telling myself. Okay, another thing, she has fallen out with her mom. She doesn't talk to her mom or her brother. She's having, family issues. So this is just a theme of all the people that I've talked about on the channel. This is the 3rd person. Miss So Chanel, Miss Brittany, and now Miss Peaches. And they all have kind of the same thing. The infidelity, the disrespect for the spouse, the divorce, the not talking to family. Now, Miss Brittany is different because she's kind of like skating over that, but they all have a theme here, and I pray that they all get delivered. Whenever it's time for them to get delivered. It's not my call when someone gets delivered, if they ever get delivered. But hopefully, whomever is watching this, that you guys will get delivered and use these stories not just for entertainment purposes, but for enlightenment and to learn, okay? We are not to sit here and just have a blind eye to the devil. If your spouse is not being faithful to you, it is time for you guys to have a talk, and you are not to basically it's no longer, you're no longer married. And so if you guys are still sleeping together and things like that, knowing that he's out there or she's out there doing whatever, in my opinion, you're both committing adultery, because that is no longer your husband if he's, or that's no longer your wife if they're out there gallivanting with other people. So just keep that in mind, okay? If you want to add to this talk that we've had today, this topic, please make sure you do so in the description. All right, let's pray for Miss Peach that things work out, okay, for herself, for her sanity, and for her children. All right, I'll see you on the next video.